Hey, in light of my recent hiatus of 4 weeks, I have decided to add a filler video to my long repertoire of bullshit. Now, we're going to try something a little bit different today. Something away from Heartfire 4 and into a different setting of stupid stuff that I kind of felt like saying. And you just have to watch. So, enough dilly-dally, let's get into it. It's called Government Conspiracies. Now, it's not, the typical stuff. I'm just kind of figuring, like, the level. I'm trying to categorize the levels of advancement into technology that the government has done and which step we're probably on. If that's not really easy to understand, I don't know what is. Now, let's start with number one. This is the most, I don't think this would be, I think this is actually the most unrealistic one. Where everything ever is just a straight line. Like, they don't have any of the cool stuff. All the, like, everything like past World War II or 1980s is just like, stuff they kind of made up just so they could like look cooler or, defense. And I figure this would have to be a whole world thing where everybody just kind of in a dick measuring contest, but no one actually takes their pants off. So it's just a slow revelation where no one really understands if anybody has anything cool at all. And it's just a really long game of just, no, I have something better than you. No, I have something better. Well, my dad could be your dad. Well, prove it. Well, I can't really do that. Yeah, that I feel like that's the most unrealistic out of all of them. And you're going to understand that out of all of them, this is actually the most boring of everything. But also unrealistic compared to everything else. Because why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just invent new stuff? It doesn't really make sense why they would just live like that. But you have to start somewhere. Now, somewhere between 2 and 3 is where I think it really is. But this is where it's more realistic. Where, like, start off 20 years ago, ooh, look, super flying plane, let's go. And then 20 years later, it's already, that 20 years later, well, when we released that one, we were already developing this one. And this plane can rob people. And it's like really cool. But it's also been 20 years. But also, it's really cool. I feel like this one is more of a, this is the most realistic one. Like, this is the most, like, in your face. It's saying whatever you see is what you're getting. There's stuff going on in the background, but there's nothing too crazy stuff going on. There's nothing insane going on. Now, this is where insane stuff starts happening. Where you get, like, anti-gravity machines, super soldiers, like different types of nukes, like all that, like James Bond sort of stuff. The stuff that History Channel makes documentaries out of, even though they don't really exist. And this is where we get stuff like that, like all those Nazi ideas where it's like, ooh, what if we okay, so guys, we all just got in this big clubhouse, we all just had a lot of gay, raunchy, crazy stuff going on. Let's invent a new type of plane. And they all do that. They all go insane. They all do a lot of drugs. And then they just move on with their lives, realize that none of this ever happened, and it's all just a bunch of 1970s dime novelists creating the story so they can just sell it to, children. I don't know, man. It's not my fault that this is just how it works. But this is where it starts to get a lot more out there. Like, anti-gravity machines where, they might have it, they might not. I don't really know, but I'm kind of the fence on it. I wouldn't say that they have it instinctually, but I'd say they're definitely, if they have the ability to even try and do it, they definitely are going to try and do it. But me being just the average layman, like you watching the video, we wouldn't really understand if they actually had that or not. Number 4, this is like the next step of level 3, where we get like interdimensional travel, we get like time travel sort of stuff going on, but it's all man-made. There's no like, crazy stuff going on with like aliens or, religion going on. It's just a bunch of humans getting together. We all get really good ideas. We put them together. And then we go from level 2 to level 3, level 4. And that's basically what it is. I'd say level 1 is more Stone Age sort of stuff where you can just lie about stuff. Level 2 is right now. Level 3 could be right now, but in an earlier stage. Well, level 2 and level 3 can't really coexist, but level 2 is what you're seeing right now. Level 3 is what you think you're seeing right now. Level 4 is what you're gonna get later. Because keeping this sort of secret would be insane. Unless they have, like, memory devices or some crap like that. But number 5 is completely different. Number 5 is if you is if instead of human minds developing 2, 3, and 4, it's if we sold a part of ourselves to some higher force to get all that stuff. It's less as it's less homegrown and more focused on just like getting it magically through magic. Yeah, basically magic, like through aliens or some sort of religious deity. I'd say more aliens because then we get into like interdimensional and like box theory, and I've probably explained that a lot later in other videos, but like I don't know, but still, I'd say that the aliens would make a lot more sense in this sort of situation where it's like, ooh, we found a bunch of aliens and they were really nice, but only to our leaders, or we kidnapped them. Well, kidnapping would be more in line with the fourth one where we kind of made the technology ourselves by integrating it, but level 5 would be like, oh my god, the aliens that came here and then they bestowed upon us all these things because we were made in their image or something like that. God or Satan, well, God and Satan can kind of coexist where you can say you're sort of one or you can and believe in one. I don't really know what other could be. You could figure that out in the comments, but yeah. Number 6, I haven't really thought about this one too much, but this is like number 5, but instead of there being the middleman of, super force to the higher political powers to the advancements. I haven't drawn the advancements here, but you can get the idea. 1, 2, the power goes to them, and it goes to the scientists, and they're like, "Oh my God, how did you get this?" Well, a bunch of aliens came down, and we can you just make the super plane now with the alien transformation stuff? Yeah, I can do that. Thanks. But this is more like if the aliens were just directly ruling it, or like if a religious figure was directly ruling it. No one ever talked about anything like this, where it's just a straight up the super figure or being directly controlled. It cuts out the middleman of higher political powers and gets straight to the point with just advancements galore. This is probably just like the moments before everything just goes into a perfect safe haven or the worst existence imaginable and unimaginable to any human ever. And yeah, most people, I really just thought of this because I needed number 6. But yeah, this is a pretty good idea where just, well, they couldn't really integrate into our political structure, could they? Because they're in a higher plane. They would have found a way to, well, because all political structures are based off the idea that we're going to argue. And if they're this powerful, they must have at least gotten rid of arguing, right? Unless it's just our political structure within their existence that they've just advanced so much that it seems like they don't argue to us or something like that. That's a really bad way of saying it, but more like they're just really advanced and maybe they're only putting their best on display. Or we are working with the possibility that this is one singular being that is just completely omnipotent. And at that point, this is more of a imagery device to get it across, but at that point they wouldn't really need to use podiums. They would just instantly convey all knowledge ever needed to every person ever, and then send every single person to their individual heaven. Or they couldn't. I don't really know. Well, that was a filler video, and I don't know really why you would watch all the way through this. I guess it's just kind of just something you would watch in between all the other ones. I will be doing Judgment Day next. I've just been kind of scared to go into it because I have about 640 screenshots I gotta get through. Then I gotta convey them all, put them on a paper, and then I gotta be really funny, and I gotta curse a lot for about an hour, and then I gotta upload the video for about 11 views. I will see you guys in a month.